when I'm not using my Instagram account specifically as a vehicle to get Taylor Swift's attention. I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. For the next Q&A, any tips for speeding up the mastering of vibrato technique? In other words, to develop a vibrato that does not sound like a dying seagull. This is the best vibrato tip I could ever possibly give. We're doing it on an acoustic guitar because we're staying classy, specifically an Orangewood Sage acoustic guitar. What you're gonna play is gonna sound like this. What is that? That's the theme from Braveheart. And there's something about the theme from Braveheart played on an acoustic guitar that makes you think of all the sacrifices William Wallace made for his people and really helps you to slow your vibrato down. Again, I think the one thing a lot of people have problems with is like that kind of like super crazy fast vibrato that they try to, it seems like they start with that. The main tip is just slow it down. It doesn't necessarily have to be the Braveheart theme, but I think it helps a lot. And really, it's just taking your time and then not being extreme, you know, like you're not bending it, you're just putting a little action on it. There's something almost kind of bittersweet about it. And then just milk it, right? That's what it's all about. Slow it down and take any note. Again, whatever you're playing, single note, you can just go through the major scale. And use your ears. I think that's the most important thing. You know, we could talk a lot about different ways to like hold your hand, where the bending should be coming from. I really think it's just playing and being thoughtful about what you're playing and listening to your playing. In fact, I think that's probably like the most underrated thing when you're actually learning how to play guitar or trying to get better, is to listen, use your ears to what you're playing. Because once you really strip it down, acoustic guitar, strip away all effects, and just kind of work on just playing a single note and trying to get the absolute best sound or the most interesting sound out of that, I think is where you really develop good vibrato. And then if you really want to like speed it up or do it to a metronome, do it on the quarter beat. In fact, Justin actually gave a good tip on this in the lesson from Monday, going from blues popper to rock prince. Slept on lesson, by the way. Check that out. But yeah, he talks about that and just kind of like doing it to eighth notes, quarter notes and stuff, and just having your vibrato be on time in kind of like a groove. But again, that's it. Slow it down. And that tip kind of transforms to anything you might want to practice and improve on. Do it slowly, make it sound good, and then by the time you get it up to speed, it's going to sound amazing. And, you know, just try to make Mel Gibson proud. Great advice to see here, guys. I actually hope this becomes a series, like gradually increasing in rank from rock prince to metal king or guitar god. So again, referencing the previous lesson, a lot of people kind of liked the spot that was as far as like kind of like an beginner to intermediate thing. And this is something that I'm always looking for feedback on, because it's hard to find out where most of my audience is skill-wise. So a lot of times I might explain things from the beginning, and I don't want to be like boring people with trying to like work up to the same level all the time. So I'm actually interested in you guys' feedback as far as like if I should do more beginner lessons and label them as beginner lessons, more like advanced lessons and label them advanced lessons, or just to kind of keep it how it's been doing. Because, you know, no matter what you're doing, there's going to be a risk of kind of like overlapping material in some of the lessons, which I think is important because I like hammering things home so nobody kind of skips steps. But at the same time, I'm not trying to bore anybody. So please, if you think that's a good idea, as far as like maybe kind of like doing different levels of difficulty, I could maybe just upload on different days. Maybe there could be like one beginner lesson a week, one more intermediate advanced lesson a week. Let me know what you guys think. I'll try to make that happen. What preamp do you use? How is the signal chain? What about the cable? So this was actually in response to one of the covers, but first the signal chain that I use right now is I'm talking into an Audio-Technica 4050 mic, absolute great microphone. All around does pretty much anything you could ever want to do. It almost works as like a shotgun mic in this situation. It works great on acoustic guitars. Also use it for vocals and the covers and stuff, and the original music too. And that is going into a Universal Audio 6176. It's like an EQ / compressor thing. That goes into the Universal Audio Apollo, which goes into Logic. And then I might put like one of the native instruments like reverbs or something on it. Definitely not the speaking ones, is just pretty much dry with like a compressor limiter on it. And that's pretty much it. Now, as far as cables go, I have some Megami cables, which I think are like the best in class, that I had from working Guitar Center way back in the day. Speaking of cables, I do want to show this off real quick. This is called Cabli, I think is how I pronounce it. Singular Sounds make these. They send them to me. I gotta admit, sometimes like companies will send me stuff and they're like, oh, just check it out. And I'm like, cool. Not always super interested in it. And when a cable management thing came to me, I was like, oh, that's sexy. I'm gonna make a video about that. This thing is absolutely awesome. Basically what it does is you can like put any kind of like long run cable in it and it wraps it for you. And then you can kind of just like pull it out and like instantly just like wind it up and wrap it up. So again, this isn't sponsored or anything. I just want to say this is like a very cool product that I will link you to, because my cable management skills are very woeful, very pathetic, really. More specifically for the live stuff, which is where this has really come in handy, and I've been using it really, really a lot. And I don't know how I lived without these, because it really, really actually helped with my setup and teardown time. So just want to shout out Singular Sound real quick. But yeah, definitely that's it. Most of the time I'm using the Audio Technica 4050 mic, and all the Universal Audio stuff really sounds great to me. But the great thing about living in this era of home recording is that even like a super bargain mic and interface is going to do a great job. I know that Blue Microphones Ember that I did a video on with Andrea back in the day, it's like $100. It's a fantastic microphone, and just going into like a Focusrite Scarlett or something is really all you need to kind of get going. So even though I have, stuff that might be a little more expensive, you truly don't need it just to start doing your thing. So get out there and make it happen. And, just try to make Mel Gibson proud. More of the talking, but I did not learn anything. The quest for trying to teach something without speaking or using words continues to elude me. But again, whatever. Which is kind of funny I'm mentioning this in the QA is always probably the worst video as far as words to guitar notes ratio. But anyways, it just keeps happening. So thank you, Salty Blues comment. What is your favorite song on the Rushmore soundtrack? Mine is Making Time by The Creation. The greatest thing I got from Rushmore was discovering The Faces and Ronnie Lane. Glad and Sorry broke something in me. That would be a good one for your Chanteuse set list. So this is the revelation that Rushmore is one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely basically anything by Wes Anderson, specifically Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums. A lot of his movies are known for just having like really great soundtracks. I think my favorite song off the Rushmore soundtrack is probably The Wind by Cat Stevens, or formerly Cat Stevens. Big Cat Stevens fan of a few select songs, and I think The Wind is definitely something that everybody should listen to. So that is my choice for best song on the Rushmore soundtrack. If you have not seen the the movie Rushmore, please do yourself a favor, turn this video off now and start watching it right now. In fact, for listening homework, we're just going to make it Cat Stevens, The Wind. Excellent song. Check that out. Also, check out the masterclass I did with Justin, because it's great. Any questions or comments you have, leave them in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.